Welcome back, Defenders. Jake here. We're so close. We are 20 Russian soldiers away from 200,000 Russian soldiers eliminated in Ukraine. We're going to hit this milestone in our next update video. We'll talk more about it then. But I'm pretty sure that Ukraine's Ministry of Defense is having a little fun. Their quote of the day is from Buster Rhymes. Woo-ha, got you all in check. And last night in Kiev was pretty exciting. Russia launched a massive air and drone attack, trying to make this as complicated as possible for Ukraine's air defense systems. They launched from both land, sea, and air, different kinds of drones, different kinds of missiles, and Ukraine successfully shot down everything. Nothing hit its intended targets. So Russia launched 9 caliber cruise missiles, 3 S-400s, 6 Iranian Shahed drones, 3 smaller Russian-made drones, and then 6 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles. This is Russia's wonder weapon. This is the weapon system that Russia is bragging about, saying, this is our trump card. This is how we defeat NATO. This is how we defeat the United States. This Kinzhal is supposed to be nuclear capable. And what last night proved is that the American Patriot system can shoot it down. So people who support Russia online are claiming that a Patriot air defense system was destroyed. But people who say that don't understand what a Patriot air defense system is. It's numerous vehicles spread out. So this vehicle and this vehicle, they're 10 kilometers away. This unit and this unit are 30 kilometers away. The only way to destroy an entire Patriot missile defense system is with a nuclear weapon. So anybody online saying that a Patriot system was destroyed last night, they don't know what they're talking about. So last night, Russia spent $75 million to advertise how incredible the American Patriot-made air defense system is. Germany's donated one, the Netherlands has donated one, the United States donated one, and one more is on the way. So Russia has a serious problem in that their best missiles can no longer hit their intended targets. Yes, they're being shot out of the sky and debris is falling on various places. You can see pictures online of debris hitting, for example, a bus stop. But to my knowledge, nobody was killed. So, huge, humiliating failure for the Russians last night. We've also got the next target identified for the UK's Storm Shadow missile. But before we talk about that, let me welcome back a returning sponsor on this channel. The sponsor of today's video is Surfshark VPN, and Surfshark VPN is an app and browser extension that encrypts all of your data while online to add an extra layer of protection to keep your personal information safe from hackers and trackers. Aside from its military-grade encryption, why is Surfshark the best VPN on the market? And it's because it's the only VPN that allows installation on an unlimited number of devices, all on one account for one price. Surfshark can be great for sending and receiving files securely online or finding great shopping deals. But what I like about Surfshark is when using various streaming services, such as Netflix, it allows me to unlock different content in other countries. For example, here in the United States, Netflix doesn't have my favorite movie of all time, Shawshank Redemption. I've easily seen this movie over 1,000 times, often just having it on the background while doing other things. But if I pull up Surfshark and change my country location to, for example, Canada, all I then have to do is refresh the page and boom, I can now watch Shawshank Redemption whenever I want. Likewise, I can switch my country location to other countries around the world to unlock fantastic TV shows and movies to watch. There is no risk in trying Surfshark VPN as they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. Use the promo code jakebroeyt and sign up today and get 83% off, plus an extra 3 months for free. Thank you so much to Surfshark for supporting this channel. Now, the most recent strike from a Storm Shadow missile happened once again in the Luhansk region. This time it was identified as a Higher Military Aviation School of Navigators. I don't know how many Russian navigators were training in this location, but the building is gone. How do we know it was a Storm Shadow cruise missile? The Russians posted this video online, and there was an identifiable danger tag. This is how large this Storm Shadow cruise missile is, so it's massive. And Russia's got serious problems. Yes, Ukraine has promised the UK they would only use these inside occupied territory, but this includes all of Crimea. There's a lot of wonderful targets to hit in Crimea in order to help liberate all of this territory. And Russia hasn't proven yet that it can stop these missiles. Their electronic warfare and air defense systems can't shoot them down. So the best thing that Russia could do at this point is go after Ukraine's air force. Try and locate all the planes capable of launching a Storm Shadow cruise missile and eliminate those. The problem for Russia is they've wasted pretty much the last year going after civilian targets. Energy nodes and power transformers that Ukraine repairs in days or weeks. So they didn't go after Ukraine's air force the last year, and now Ukraine has pretty good air defense systems to protect their planes, which can launch these Storm Shadow missiles. Yes, Russia is claiming that they've already successfully shot down a Storm Shadow missile, but this is the same Russia that claimed they destroyed all the M777 howitzers, destroyed 3 times the number of HIMARS launchers that have been given to Ukraine. Russia even claimed to destroy a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle before any had even been delivered to Ukraine. So, sorry Russia, I'm having difficulty believing you. And President Zelenskyy the last week has been on a European tour. I know that he's visited Italy, Germany, France, and the United Kingdom. Ukraine leader targets Jets coalition on UK visit. Lots of great stuff was announced by Prime Minister Sunak. Here's a tweet. "We must not let Ukraine down. That's why we're accelerating our support. More missiles, long-range attack drones, new UK flying school, and conference to support Ukraine's recovery." So this is a big new announcement. Britain announced the delivery of hundreds of strike drones to Ukraine with a range of 200 kilometers. This will be the first delivery of strike drones by the West since the war began. Yes, the United States has provided some switchblades. These are considered loitering munitions. But these strike drones are perfect for going after oil depots, for example, in Crimea. Perhaps Ukraine made a deal with Britain that they wouldn't use these drones in Russia. But what that means is that any domestically made Ukrainian drones can be used in Russia, and these British drones can be used in the occupied territories. It all adds up. It's all good news for Ukraine, bad news for Russia. But I think this is the biggest news announcement from the last 2 days. F-16s will be the focus of Ukrainian pilot training in the United Kingdom. This summer, the United Kingdom will start training Ukrainian pilots to get them ready for future F-16 fighter jet deliveries. And this is kind of odd because I don't think the United Kingdom has F-16s. Lots of other European countries do. For whatever reason, the United States has been waffling on this and didn't want to host the training. So the United Kingdom has chosen to step up and be the training location. So other countries like the Netherlands or Poland or Denmark can donate their F-16s, and the training for Ukrainian pilots will take place in the UK. So Russia's not happy, and let me share with you their response on Russian state TV.
Британцы качают, раздувают ни много ни мало мировую войну. В двух мировых войнах, как, впрочем, и в битве с Наполеоном, Британия становилась союзником России. Но лишь потому, что тогда она испытывала экзистенциальную угрозу, риск исчезнуть. Выбор был верным. Россия оказывалась в числе победителей, а с ней и Британия. Сохраняла себя. Все остальное время в новой и новейшей истории англичанка гадила. Крымская война, большая игра в Азии, план Черчилля сбросить на Москву атомную бомбу, провокации уже в отношении новой России. Сейчас другая ситуация. Британия раздувает мировую войну, где она заведомо на другой стороне. А если так, то драку заказывали, получите, распишитесь. Мы за ценой не постоим. В конце концов, речь идет о маленьком и очень уязвимом острове. Как говорится, не бросать.
Do you hear that, people from the United Kingdom? At the end of the day, you live on a small and very vulnerable island. How many times have you guys been conquered or invaded in the last 1,000 years? Also, he keeps saying, Britain is leading us towards another world war. You have to have military allies for it to be a world war. Not even Belarus is willing to use its military to help Russia. Also saying we won't count the cost of victory. He's saying we don't care how many of our soldiers die. That's a really weird flex, Russia. I mean, maybe try and come up with a military strategy where your soldiers don't die. That's what the United States tries to do. And President Zelenskyy, after visiting the UK, also went to France to meet with President Macron, and the French came through. Lots of great announcements as well. In the coming weeks, France will train and equip several Ukrainian battalions with dozens of armored vehicles, including the AMX-10RC. This is a tank, but doesn't have tracks. In addition, France is focusing its efforts on supporting Ukrainian air defense capabilities to protect their civilian population. And this is incredible news. Macron has confirmed that France will follow in the UK's footsteps and send its version of the Storm Shadow long-range cruise missile. So in France, it's called the Scalp EG, but it's basically the same capabilities as the UK's Storm Shadow. So Ukraine has them. Ukraine now has long-range cruise missiles that can hit any Russian target in the occupied territories. So every military target of value in Crimea is gonna go boom, I argue, before Ukraine launches their full-scale counteroffensive. So currently Ukraine is hitting targets in Luhansk. This is because they're pushing in the Bakhmut area. But once that front stabilizes, I think Ukrainian pilots are going to pivot to the Kherson region and start going after the best targets in Crimea. So thank you so much to President Macron and the people of France. I don't know how many missiles the UK had to spare, but whatever that number is, I'm sure it just got doubled by France. I don't want to leave Italy out. Italy also made some announcements of security assistance, included in it another anti-aircraft system, the SAM-PT. So thank you so much, Italy. In my last video, I already mentioned Germany's announced security package worth close to $3 billion US. And this was a nice moment between Chancellor Schultz and President Zelenskyy. There's no subtitles, but Schultz is basically just saying that Ukraine is part of Europe and will help defend Ukraine.
Ukraina тут, а Ukraina це Europa. Die Ukraine ist hier und die Ukraine ist Europa. Herzlichen Glückwunsch und Slava Ukraini.
Das war ja eine sehr freundschaftliche Rede. Wer ist denn so geblieben?
Eine freundschaftliche Rede und eine klare Rede. Olaf Scholz hat gesagt, Deutschland werde die Ukraine auf Dauer unterstützen. Er hat ganz klar betont, humanitär wird.
A moment of friendship and a moment of unity for the European continent. As an American, this warms my heart. And the president of France also took an opportunity to embarrass Putin. Macron said that Russia is becoming a vassal state of China. This did not make the Kremlin happy. Kremlin slams Macron's comment over Russia's subservience to China. And if you don't like being called out by the president of France, then stop this war and reverse yourself, because you are quickly becoming a vassal state of China. That's all that the Russian state will be a couple years from now, a mine and gas station for the Chinese economy. Here's a tweet from Ambassador McFowle trolling Putin. Must be frustrating for Putin to watch Zelensky's tour of Europe. Every stop he picks up new gifts. Chinese President Xi brought nothing to Putin when he visited Moscow. That's a good troll. So let's check in on the dictator of Belarus. He had not been seen in a week, and there was speculation that he was dead. So of course, he had to make a public appearance and film a propaganda video for people to see he was alive. Let me share just a little bit of this clip that he put out.
Без великих докладов давайте посмотрим на то, что происходит вокруг нашей страны, прежде всего в воздухе. Я так понимаю, это режим реального времени. Мы очень часто обсуждаем вопросы безопасности нашего государства, особенно в воздушном пространстве. Ну, как я вижу, сейчас...
Okay, the subtitles are fake. Somebody put fake subtitles on the video talking about the Eurovision contest, but I'll link it down below if you want to watch the whole thing. But this is the video that Lukashenko put out so that people knew he wasn't dead. He does look very weak. His voice is very soft, but he's alive. He also was wearing a lot of makeup to conceal potentially, his face being flush or gaunt. Here's another picture of him. Doesn't look great, but he's alive. And he's got bandages on his left hand still, so I don't know what that's about. Ukrainian intelligence is saying that the Belarus dictator is only suffering a viral infection. Ukrainian military intelligence told the Kiev Post that they believe Lukashenko will be fine. He's going to recover from whatever this minor viral infection is. But I do think it would be beneficial if he retraced his footsteps. When did he start feeling sick? Maybe it was in Moscow on May 9th, sharing some tea with Putin. Maybe next time, don't drink Uncle Vladimir's polonium tea. Let's check in on the front lines, and the city of Bakhmut continues to hold, and Ukraine continues to push on the north and the south, clearing trench positions. They're still just barely holding on to a couple buildings in the city proper, but you can see that the front line is starting to average out. It's starting to smooth out as Russia was aggressively pushing to the village of Chasiv Yar. And here's a more detailed technical map, what's been happening in the region the last week. And there was a large number of Russian soldiers in this region who got cut off. Ukraine pushed from down here towards Klishivka. They also pushed from the north, and reportedly a large group of Russian soldiers were captured or completely eliminated. Ukraine claims more than 10 enemy positions captured around Bakhmut. After months of stalemate, Kiev has been preparing to retake ground in the eastern regions of Donetsk and Luhansk. So this is not the counteroffensive. President Zelenskyy wouldn't launch it while on a European tour. The counteroffensive will be coming soon, and I guarantee you President Zelenskyy will be in the country at that time. I want to follow up on this story. Last week, this video went viral. It's probably been seen by tens of millions of people online. And this is a Ukrainian drone video of a Russian soldier communicating to the drone that he wants to surrender. He begs the drone not to kill him. So I'll play a little bit of the clip for you so you can see the Russian man. He's signaling the drone. Eventually, he was given instructions how to safely surrender. And this is the guy. This is the Russian soldier who surrendered. His face has been seen. He's a public figure on the internet now, so he probably doesn't have a future going back to Russia as long as Putin stays in power. But he gave a really long interview to a channel called Gulag.net. Here's their YouTube channel. I'll link it down below. The interview he gave is over an hour long, answering every question this Ukrainian journalist had. If you turn on closed captioning and then turn on auto-generation translation from Russian to English, you can follow along with what's being talked about. On Twitter, Anton just translated about 2 minutes of the interview. So let me share with you and give you a little backstory about this guy and why he chose to surrender. So let's start here. So the journalist is asking him this question. So an adult officer of the Russian army told you that you will now go with him. So where we are in the interview is this Russian soldier says he's an untrained, mobilized man sent to the front lines, and his platoon commander handed him over to a Wagner guide, a Wagner soldier who would tell him where he's going to be positioned on the front lines. He responds, yes, PMC Wagner provided us with one guide, and this is what the Wagner guy told these Russian mobilized men. So no one lags behind, follow me here. Whoever backs up, I'll nullify, kill. Whoever backs up, I'll nullify. Keep in mind there may be gunfire on the road. If someone gets caught, I won't pull anyone out. I'll just finish him off. And that's how he began to escort us to the position where he surrendered. So he voiced this in front of his commanding officer, a lieutenant. The journalist is asking him, did this Wagner guy in front of a Russian officer say, if you fall behind or get injured, I'm just going to shoot you? And the Russian guy says, no, this was after we already departed the units for our future positions. The journalist follows up, didn't you 3 military guys have questions about how this was crazy? He couldn't be your commander. He's a member of an illegal armed unit. The 3 of you, I guess it was this guy and 2 others, taken to this trench position. You 3 had submachine guns, and he's the one telling you that if you try to retreat or if you're wounded, he's just going to shoot you. For me personally, I take that as fascism. This is the Russian soldier's response. I understand you, but understand us too. We were only in that place for 2 days. We were brought there. We didn't know where to go. And the platoon commander gave us a direct order. He told us, follow and listen to everything this Wagner guy tells you to say and do. The interview goes on in which this guy describes when he got to the trenches, there were already bodies everywhere. The trenches hadn't been cleared of the dead. There was also no food and water and limited ammunition. So this guy knew that he was going to die if he stayed there. That's why he chose to signal the Ukrainian drone and surrender and get to safety. So what's happening with the regular Russian military is they're using the Wagner group and the Chechens as the enforcers to keep their slave army in line. And they're telling everyone, if you get injured, nobody's being medically evacuated, nobody's being treated. I, the Chechen or the Wagner guy, am just going to shoot you. That's my orders. So this explains why in recent weeks we've been seeing more videos of Russian soldiers just committing suicide once they're injured, because that's what they're told. If you get injured, I, a Chechen or a Wagner, have been told to shoot all of our wounded. Nobody's being treated, nobody's being evacuated. Wow. So Putin needs more meat for the war machine. Putin simplifies citizenship process for foreigners fighting for Russia in Ukraine. So to become a fast-track citizen of the Russian Empire, all you have to do is join the Russian military and survive on the front lines in Bakhmut for a year. If you can do that, your golden ticket is punched and you get a Russian passport. Let's see how many people take him up on the offer. Putin orders measures to reverse mass wartime exodus. Putin on Friday ordered officials to develop measures aimed at reversing the mass emigration of Russian citizens sparked by the invasion of Ukraine. So we don't see the pictures or videos anymore, but I think Russian men of military age have never stopped leaving the country. They've been going to Mongolia, they've been going to Kazakhstan, going to Georgia and Turkey, going to the EU as well if they can make it in. So we don't know the true number, how many hundreds of thousands or millions of Russians who have fled Russia since mobilization. This is hemorrhaging and devastating the Russian economy as they can't find workers to meet the demands for production to fight this war. Here's a crazy headline. Russian airlines ask employees to report fewer aircraft malfunctions. Russia's flagship airline Aeroflot has asked its employees to refrain from recording equipment defects on the aircraft, leading to planes regularly flying with malfunctions. Russia doesn't have the time, money, parts, or resources to properly maintain their aircraft. And their solution is to tell their employees, stop talking about it. Stop reporting that things are breaking on the aircraft. We're not going to do anything about that. So I can't believe people still let these airplanes fly into their countries. Final couple feel-good clips I have for you. The first one is the city of Kiev in springtime. The city is in bloom. I just want to share what the capital city of Ukraine currently looks like. Looks beautiful. Final clip I have for you. In the city of Kharkiv, for the first time, a bio-integrated prosthesis was placed for a dog. This dog lost one of its legs after Russians shelled the city. So let me share with you what the dog looks like now. You can see the dog has a new leg. He can get around just fine. It's one happy dog, I'm sure. That's all for this update video. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. If you found this video informative, give me a thumbs up. Best way to support the channel. Comments and questions, let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys. Till the next video, keep defending the truth, keep defending democracy.